Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ayunda Permatasari. Today I'm going to answer midterm test question of psychology in literature. There are three questions here. The first question is, please give a definition of id, ego, and superego, and also give an analogical example. Okay, I'll answer it. Id, ego, and superego is a psychological theory that learn about how people think to make a decision, and this theory is introduced by Sigmund Freud. And because of we talking about psychology in literature, so we focus on literature, but the character think to make a decision. The first process is it. It is a primary thinking process. This process is depend on pleasure principle, and also in this process, the character will think from their instinct as a human, and also the character will follow their pleasure. And the next is ego process. But before explain about ego, I will move to superego first. Superego process is a thinking process depend on moral imperative in society. So the character will think about what their opinion, what they will do according to the society rule and also the parental rule. And if the character didn't follow the the society rule or parental standard, they will feel guilty. And then move to the ego process. Ego process is a final process of decision making with when the character decide to choose to follow either it or superego. And in this process, the character will think about the reality, and before they choose it or superego, they will think it is appropriate if the character follow it or superego. So it based on real condition, and it also depend on the character life experience. So from one character to another character, they has own experience, so it will be different from each other. And I'll give the analogical example. The example is when children want to eat candy even before sleeping. The condition is that, and then the children will think, whereas the children will choose to follow their pleasure, so they will eat the candy without asking permission from their parent, or they will not eat the candy because when they eat the candy, that is, so they will disobey the parental standard, because when eating candy before sleeping without brushing your teeth, it can be toothache. So in the end, the children must choose to follow their it or their superego, which is the ego process. And if the children decide to eat the candy, so the children ego is following it. And the next question is, what is hierarchy of need from Abraham Maslow theory? Hierarchy of need is basically a study of psychology that focuses on human motivation to fulfill their need. In this theory, Abraham Maslow introduced 5 stages in this theory, and this theory create like a pyramid form. From bottom to the top of the pyramid, they will biggest, and then in the top is smallest one. The first stages is physiological need. Physiological need is basically a need of breathing, a need of homeostasis system, a need of eat, and anything that basically from human body to establish the body. And the next is safety needs. Safety needs is need that when someone feel that they are safety. For example, they get a job, they get secure in their life. And the next stages, the third stages, is love and belonging. Love and belonging, we can get it when from our friends, from our family member, and from our partner maybe. And the next stages is esteem. Esteem is when you will achieve these stages when you feel that you feel that you are achieve your happiness standard. For example, when you got achievement, when you feel confidence, you get a better life, you get a better job. And the highest level in the stages is self-actualization. Self-actualization, you can get it when you feel like you can solve your problem, and also and then you get respect from others, so you feel that so you feel you are acceptable in your place. The next question is Zimbardo theory, a theory of Lucifer effect. And this theory is a study of how a good person can become evil. This theory, according to Zimbardo, people who has a good habit, it can be easily become evil habit from their surrounding. Zimbardo create an experiment from their student in college, in university. He involved a good student in his experiment. Put a good student are divided into two jobs, which is who as a prisoner and another as a guide. But from this experiment, Zimbardo found that everyone who had a good attitude before, he can be changed to be an evil, to have a evil habit. So we can conclude that from this experiment, Zimbardo conclude that from a uniform, it can change human body. Human psychology. It can impact from psychology and also physiological, physics. So the uniform can change people personality. Why? Because when the guardian will have a power to do anything to their prisoner, and the prisoner, even he has a good attitude or good habit before, but in this experiment they are they're supposed to be a prisoner, so their attitude is like how the prisoner habit. So